Hello, welcome to this video on the Bodhicaryavatara, chapter 7, verse 36. I will first read the verse out without it on screen, and then I'll call it up on screen for you and read it again. Gunaleshepi nabhyasu mamajjata kadachana vritanitam maya janma katanchilabdham adbhutam. And now I will call up screen 3 for you, call up the text for you. Here we are. Gunaleshepi nabhyaso mamajjata kadachana vritanitam maya janma katanchilabdham adbhutam. So, abhyasa means practice, as in strengthening your doing of something by practicing it. It's from the root as, meaning to throw. That's the basic meaning of the root. And abhi, on top. So throwing on top, in other words, heaping up. By practicing again, the imagery is that you are increasing this pile of accumulated knowledge, of accumulated, as it were, muscle memory. There's the abhyasa, increasing the strength of what you're doing by practice, the throwing on. So abhyasa, so na abhyasa, na abhyaso jata. Jata, literally born. And let's call up my iPad screen. Here we are. So from the root jan, the basic root is bearing or being born. If something is born, it is jayate. Slightly irregular. Jan actually, in this meaning of to be born, is a class 4 atmanepada verb, so you would expect it to be, and I put an asterisk here to show you I'm giving you a deliberately wrong form for the sake of illustration. You'd expect it to be janyate, but in fact it is jayate. Somewhat irregularly, just the N of the root drops out and the A is lengthened. So jayate is born, and then generally comes into existence. The past participle, born, we would expect to see janta, but it's in fact jata. So jata, born, and then by extension just come into existence. Remember the root jati, so not root, the verbal noun jati, meaning a birth. It's a feminine noun. Again, we would have expected to see janti, but jati. And we have the jataka stories, which are the birth stories, that's stories of the Buddha's previous lives, previous births as they're called. So, na abhyaso jata, not practice born. In other words, no practice has been done. Na abhyaso mama jata, mama of me. So no practice of me has arisen. In other words, I haven't done any practice. No practice has been done by me. In Sanskrit, you say no practice of me born. Kadachana, kada, when, as an interrogative, and kadachana means at any time. For instance, for kim, what, add on chana, kinchana, anything at all, and in the negative form, nakinchana, nothing at all. If a person is akinchana, it means he is not anything, means he has nothing. That becomes a bahuvrihi possessive adjective. This person is akinchana, he is without anything. So this chana makes an indefinite form. Kim, what, kinchana, anything or nothing. Kada, when, kadachana, at any time, or in the negative form, at no time, never. Nakadachana, never. And guna leshepi. Lesha, not a very common word, it means it's a tiny bit of something or a slight trace of something. Guna, a much more common word, is a virtue. It originally means a string, as in the string of a lute or the string of a bow. Stringed instrument, bowstring, guna. And then by extension, it came to mean like a thread, a strong thread that ran through something. And by extension, it came to mean then like a moral quality, this thread that ran through you. So a quality. So a gunalesha means a slight trace of good qualities. By the way, I said quality, it tends to mean good quality. There can be bad qualities, but guna, the implication is good quality. So gunalesha means some trace of virtue, some trace of good quality. Api, even. So guna leshe api, even in a slight trace of virtue, no abhyasa, no practice, no effort has been made by me. It means no, I haven't even made any effort to develop even the slightest bit of guna, the slightest bit of virtue. So the abhyasa, the practice, is done in something, that's why it's the locative, gunale shepi. The force of the api means even in a tiny bit. I haven't done even the tiniest bit of it. Gunale shepi na abhyaso mamajata kadachana. So then with the full sandhi, gunale shepina bhyaso mamajata kadachana. And the next line, vritta nitam maya janma katanchilabdham adbhutam. Janma, looking at this fourth line now in the second, fourth word, sorry, in the second line, janma, it's from that same root jan, which we've just looked at, meaning birth. So janma, we have several neuter nouns ending in a ma, which is exactly the same actually as the Greek neuter ending ma, which we often see in English as a problema, becomes problem in English. So janma, from the root kri, for example, to do, we get karma. That same formation, adding this ma onto the root. So karma, doing or action. Janma, a birth. Literally, janma is the actual process of birth, the being born. But then by extension, it means a life. In all my previous births, what have I done? Meaning in all my previous lives, the birth followed by the life and the death. So janma, in this sense, is literally birth, but meaning the life. So maya, nitam maya janma. Maya, instrumental by me. Nitam, from the root ni, to lead. Past participle, nita. Janma is a neuter noun, so it's nitam maya janma, literally led by me, life. Life has been led by me. Vritta, there's the root vri. Vritta means in vain, uselessly. The vri meaning to choose. We've got vara, means a choice, literally a choice, but then it comes to mean the best of things. So this vritta, it's an adverb rather, made from the root. So vritta means according to choice. That was the original meaning of it. But then by extension, it just means, however I felt like at the time. There's no real plan, no real endeavor to it. Vritta, yes, whatever I felt like at the time I did. And that's come to mean then in vain or uselessly. So in other words, without any effort or discipline or endeavor. Vritta, did whatever I felt like at the time. So vritta nitam maya janma. So this janma, this birth, meaning life, nitam maya, led by me, meaning has been led by me. By the way, note exactly the same idiom in Sanskrit as in English. In English, we talk about leading your life in the sense of living your life in a certain way. Exactly the same expression is used in Sanskrit. So, nitam maya janma, life has been lived by me. Vritta, uselessly, in vain. Frittered it away by just doing vritta, acting according to choice, but meaning unthinking choice, whatever I happen to feel like at the time, though vainly, uselessly. This janma, katanchit labdham adbhutam. This janma, labdham, obtained, katanchit, somehow, adbhutam, miraculously. The idea is here that human life, Shantideva is saying, is very difficult to obtain. It's not something you get for the asking. Not everyone gets it. It has been obtained. Adbhutam is something like unusually, supernaturally, or we could say miraculously. So I have miraculously obtained this life. Katanchit, somehow, I don't know how, that emphasizes the miraculous nature of it. This chana, you can also add a chit, for example. So katam means how. Katanchit means somehow. I don't know how, but it happened somehow, is the idea. So janma, katanchit, somehow, labdham, neuter, to agree with janma, neuter, labdham, obtained, adbhutam, miraculously. So careful here, this adbhutam, it's an adjective meaning miraculous, supernatural. I've got an explanation down at the bottom, possibly from atibhuta, beyond nature, beyond what is. That's just speculation. The actual pure etymology of this word has been lost, maybe by corruption, before it came to be first written down in Sanskrit. So adbhuta. You can see how it atibhuta, adbhuta, in common speech, and then came into the language in its slightly corrupted form, but nevertheless now accepted, adbhutam. It is an adjective, but here it's used as an adverb. So it doesn't mean this miraculous life, but this life, labdham adbhutam, miraculously obtained, adverbial force here. So this life that has been somehow miraculously, I didn't deserve it, don't know how it happened, but I got it. But having got this life miraculously, what have I done? Vritta nitam maya janma. This janma, this life, nitam maya, has been lived by me uselessly. So I will now read this verse to you again. Let me call up the There we are. Gunaleshe pinabhyaso mamajata kadachana vritanitam maya janma katanchilabdham adbhutam. And once more. Gunaleshe pinabhyaso mamajata kadachana vritanitam maya janma katanchilabdham adbhutam. That concludes this video on verse 36.